the stories are told. Warrior hearts beating brave and bold. Small town pride in the air we breathe. The spirit of the game will never leave. Forever and always go Warriors, we shout. With fans in the stands, there's never a doubt. Game day Saturdays where memories ignite. Under the lights we fight the good fight.
I mean, you've seen me out there. You know I do yell.
I don't mind
I
yelling.
get on them.
I don't mind yelling as long as there's teaching going on too.
Absolutely. Well, you know, if you were to talk to any of my former players, they'll tell you, like, coach is going to coach you hard. He's going to yell at you. He's going to demand. But those guys still know that I have their back now.
100%.
Still to this day, they call me.
Yep.
You know, they put me down as a reference for them.
Yeah.
Those kind of things, and I do. I'm demanding. And I'm going to yell, and I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let them slide on things, because if I let them slide, then I'm saying it's okay.
100% true. Kids will rise and fall to whatever expectation is placed before them.
Yes.
Not in total, but the reality is that those that don't aren't going to be your people. They're not going to be the ones that are going to perform for you on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't even know I was on the website.
Your name,
barely. Your name is.
your name, and you click on.
Riley on there. Got to work on it.
Dude, why don't they just give it to us? Can we just do everything?
No, I don't, because it'll end up being me, and I don't want to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I say us, I meant you.
All right, we're set. See if I can get this. I'll pop this down a couple more.
Oh, that
really later.
Yeah.
It was like a new.
Yeah, you got your new poncho shirt.
I do. Well, I got this one out for spring break. I was on.
All right.
I pretended like I was going to button that, but I didn't. All right. We're recording.
Lights went off.
Well, it's because it's on me, but hold on a second.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind that. I mean, it can be on you, because the first question that we're going to have while we're recording is, did we get any texts on how we're going to open the show? Because that's one of the questions, or that's what we asked the crowd to do last time here, the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, is to, because last week we opened the show with,
we opened the show cold. We didn't.
We kind of jumped in like the Joe Rogan experience, and
The people have questions for me?
no, not necessarily. We asked them to tell us, do you want us to open the show in an accent or mimic someone's voice or things like that? I told Troy to work on Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash.
We got nothing.
Got nothing. Well, thanks, guys.
Nothing.
Well, then, in that case, welcome to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. Thanks, everybody, for not sending us your recommendations, so you're not getting that video and audio treat to the ears of hearing Troy and I sound silly.
That's right. It's too bad for you that's not happening, but I'll tell you this. If you go now to the our platforming allows us to you can send a voicemail. And I'll tell you what, if you send a voicemail, because this has happened on some of the other podcasts that I produce, and people will call in and they will just leave a message. And obviously, if it's funny, I'm going to play it. If it's complimentary, I'm going to play it. If it's wicked,
no.
I mean, if it's profane, I'm not going to play it. But if it's, there's a wide berth if it's appropriate. So now you can not just text the show, which many people have done. It's just been a while since they've done it.
They're out of the habit, let's be honest.
Yeah. You can also leave a voicemail, which is pretty sweet.
I listen to it in the morning when I'm getting ready for the day, and I am also in love with your new theme music. I sing and dance while I'm getting ready. Keep up the good work.
Cool, I may do that.
I may leave a voicemail for yourself. Use different. Exactly. That's where you use your different voices, man.
Oh, you guys are great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, this is Bob Schmaltzy Waltzy calling in from Northwestern. We really love your show out here in Second Pella.
Oh, yeah, the wannabe Pella. I'm sorry, guys. We love Northwestern.
Yeah, we do.
The Dutch.
The Dutch.
They had like a festival not that long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure they did. Yeah.
The Dutch got us.
Was there much clogging to be done? Much clogging.
Yeah. Who doesn't like wooden shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Super cozy.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, Troy, we're going to have to know what that's all about. Wooden shoes? Really? Dutch. Gosh.
If you are from a place where it's like you're making land out of the ocean and it's very flat,
Yeah.
and it's, maybe a lot of canals and bogginess, maybe you do want shoes that could potentially help you float.
Well, I would say not just that, but maybe just the nature of what else is going to be a little water resistant. Nothing's proof. Or then when you do, you lose a shoe. I mean, what a terrible thing that's going to happen when you're out in the bog and you lose a shoe. What's a wooden shoe going to do? It's going to float. It's just like Crocs.
Yeah. They're the original Crocs, man.
Crocs.
The original Crocs. And the good thing is that now I'm sure all those wooden shoes are made in China.
They probably are. Maybe the Republic of Vietnam.
Yeah.
I mean, because they outsource a lot. Taiwan, Laos, Cambodia,
So for the next 52 minutes, we're going to go ahead and just talk about the world trade situation, particularly since the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
that would be riveting.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody would.
Or what we could do, Andy, is we could talk to
What
somebody.
you know.
We should introduce our fans to somebody completely new. And now for something completely different.
Folks, pretty excited because, we've gone through the coaching change. We've been over that. And we were pretty excited to see Coach Calloway, his new stable of coaches. And tonight we got a treat for you. Mm-hmm. So fresh from Tennessee here in this great country is Coach Leo. Let's get ready to Rumbaugh. Coach Rumbaugh, welcome, buddy. How you doing, man? Have you ever heard that before?
Oh, never.
Never, really.
I think if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, I might be able to retire.
All right.
Ooh, well, fancy. So, Coach, you've been in town how long now?
A week's last Sunday. So about a week and a half, yeah.
So were you here for a blizzard? Did you get a blizzard?
No, I wasn't here for the snow.
You didn't get the snow, but we got you into the tornadoes.
Yeah, that was a little wild for me. The town I live in hasn't had a tornado touchdown in over 200 years. I've never seen a tornado in real life.
I've seen a few. I mean, that's nature of the beast.
your
On what
job.
I don't like tornadoes.
One of
because I like them in 2 years because they're beautiful. They really are.
In 2 years when you're retired.
Well, and I retired. My wife has spent the last 27 years of being alone during severe weather. Obviously, when our children were young, she was kind of beefing up, trying to make sure, mom's got this, and she was just scared to death, which I don't blame her. But the reality is, she's been alone for, so I leave. I mean, that's what I do. That's part of my job, and go out, do that thing. And we were talking the other day, and she goes, "How many more years we got of severe weather?" I said, "Well, we got this severe weather season and next severe weather season." She goes, "Then you'll be here with me." I said, No. You will be with me.
That's right.
You're going to be on the computer looking at the radar, and I'm going to be driving. Yeah. I'll be like Ryan Hall.
I've had the experience with when he's out there driving.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he's driving down this road out here by the bunker, and I'll be up in the tower with a beer in my hand as watching the tornadoes and the funnel clouds as they develop, and I'll see him coming. And one time I called you.
Hey, you just went by.
I was like, "Hey, you just went by." I was like, "You see anything?" I'm like, "Nah, not really."
Yeah, it's all about information.
Yeah.
So, Coach, welcome to Waldorf University. Welcome to Forest City, Iowa. I guess just from the jump, how's it been in the last 7 days?
I mean, honestly, I love it here. It's awesome. I love a small town feel anyway. I'm from Eastern Appalachia. I mean, the only thing we're missing is mountains here. But other than that, I mean, it's like I said, I love the small town life. So,
What was the name of the town that you grew up in? Like Colton, something like?
so I grew up in Sevierville, Tennessee. I live in Kodak. It's all the same county, but it's the home of Dolly Parton, actually. So,
What?
yeah.
Now, I was...
Now we're gonna talk.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I should have worn my Dolly shirt. I do have a Dolly Parton shirt.
Yeah.
I love.
Listen, she's a Pearl,
absolutely.
You don't. In my town, you don't say a bad word about Dolly. Those are fighting words.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna hear
Real
it.
fighting
You ain't gonna hear it from us either.
Listen, on my coffee table in the house is the Dolly Parton coffee table book. What are those called? Coffee table books. Yeah. I love it. I mean, who doesn't love Dolly Parton?
No, you'd have to be a twisted, horrible
Terrible
human being.
Yeah.
To not love Dolly. So that was her hometown.
Yes, sir.
So have you met Miss Parton?
I have never met her personally.
Okay.
I grew up about 5 miles from where her parents live.
And she grew up poor, did she not?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
that whole county, that whole area, all the surrounding counties, it's a pretty poor area.
Right.
It's Appalachia.
Because that's right on the edge of the Blue Ridge Mountains. I mean, just that area, Appalachia. I mean, you hear about that all the time. Were your hometown and some of your friends and family affected by that hurricane that came through not too long ago?
So luckily, our county didn't. We didn't get hit with anything really bad. Now the county next to us, there was a lot of flooding and things like that. And then, driving through the pass on I-40 over to North Carolina, so our county borders, man, that hurricane came through and the river just completely washed away the road. I mean, there's massive construction. It's a mess. They're still dealing with the after effects of that.
Now, this area of the country is where you grew up considered part of the state of Franklin?
No. So the state of Franklin was just a little bit north of where I'm at, but pretty close to it. Yeah.
Because Troy's a history buff. I'm sure he knows all about that.
Ha! I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, state of
This
Franklin.
is a new thing to me.
That was going to be during this session. That was going to be a new state.
Okay.
That the folks in that part of the world were trying to put together.
All right.
Because that area, obviously Dolly Parton, but wasn't like Daniel Boone, like
More Crockett.
okay, Crockett. All right.
I believe it was Crockett.
Davy Crockett. Yeah.
Well, so there's actually a documentary movie called Jonesboro.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's actually kind of goes into what the state of Franklin was going to be. And they're going to name after Benjamin Franklin, of course.
Really?
Yep.
I'm gonna write that down.
Well, I'm going to have to do some research now because I feel like that's a niche piece of American history that I must have missed, but that's pretty cool. I'm going to check it out, which is probably much better reading than the ethics of private property.
Yeah. Troy and I last week, and we didn't even get into what I was reading. I just finished reading If I Were a Man. It's actually
That's so weird.
Well, it's
What the heck?
it's one book. It's not like a self-help. It should be, but it's If I Were a Man and the Truce.
Yeah.
And it was written by Primo Levi, who was an Auschwitz surviving Jew,
Okay.
an Italian Jew. And so it was his story of his time, in Auschwitz. And
That's what you're reading?
I just finished reading it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, those things that are uncomfortable. Right now, I'm reading The Children's Blizzard.
Oh, man, what's that?
It's about a blizzard in 1888, in January 12th of 1888, that it was a flash blizzard that killed about 500 in our area, from Decorah to Yankton, South Dakota.
No kidding.
Yes.
Now, Coach, just so I understand, he is the emergency management director for Winnebago, Hancock County. And so that's probably right up his reading alley of the different. Well, what would happen if we had that situation, a blizzard, which would, or a Holocaust? It's all part of. Do you have a plan for that?
I do not have a Holocaust plan, but we do have, and again, that will never happen again. I mean, I will take up arms against anybody that would do that to another race, sector of people. But anyway.
You're on the record now.
I know. And we're not gonna go down this road. We got
pretty heavy pretty quick there.
Yeah. Yeah. What you reading, Coach? Anything?
Yeah, so I'm reading The Everyday Coach by Harrison Bernstein. He is the founder and CEO of Soldiers of Sidelines.
And we are going. Let's.
Perfect
You know what? Let's
transition.
just jump right
Perfect
into that.
transition.
Well, no, it truly is like that's not as a trend.
Yeah, I know, and
I truly am reading that book.
yeah.
And I did some research on Soldiers to Sideline. You are. Were you one of the first to come through? I mean, there's been like 900 and some, maybe over 1,000 now. Of our military folk that want to get into coaching, and it's not just football coaching, but get into coaching. And then this program takes our veterans and trains them up. And just talk about the program a little bit, because you're obviously more familiar than I am.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely a program I'm very passionate about, because what they've done for me and what they do for fellow soldiers. So I wasn't one of the first. They've been going for about 3 or 4 years. So they had a good base. I was looking for coaching jobs. I applied to about 300 and just wasn't getting any traction. This was last year. And I was scrolling Facebook, saw Harrison, was like, hey, if you're a soldier and you want to be a coach, hey, you need to come and check this out. So clicked on the link, went through the certification class, which they do a 4-day class. I got to listen to Rod Marinelli, who is a veteran. He spoke, and he was a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. He was in the NFL for a long time. And they had different coaches. Kurt Warner spoke. His son, who's an offensive coordinator at Quincy, spoke. So there was a lot of high profile kind of guys, and they, I told Harrison, this is my situation, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. And he was like, all right, we got you, So I ended up getting an intern spot with Tennessee State last year. And I got to work with just an absolute legend of an offensive line coach, Russ Ehrenfeld. And then this opportunity here essentially came through a connection with Soldiers of Sidelines, because I went to Tennessee State and interned there. The offensive coordinator knows Coach Gales. So when Coach Gales said I need an offensive line coach, he got my information from Soldiers of Sidelines, because he's friends with the football director. The football director sent him my resume. Then he saw I was at Tennessee State. He knows the offensive coordinator. He called him, and here I am. So, in the coaching world, it's all about who knows you, not necessarily about what you know or who you know. Because I've got a contact list full of people that I know, but it's all about who knows you and developing those relationships. And Soldiers of Sidelines, they constantly are bringing in high profile. There's, you talked about the summit. That was the first summit that they'd ever had, and it was phenomenal. Not only for instance, Coach Marinelli, he spoke in my my certification class, but it was via Zoom. He was there, so I got to talk to this man. This man knows he's forgotten more about football than I'll ever learn.
Of course.
But I got to sit and talk to this man for 20 minutes, just one-on-one.
Wow.
So that program giving that kind of opportunity to soldiers, and man, anytime I can talk to somebody that's in the military that wants to coach, one of the wrestling coaches here is prior service. And I was like, man, you got to get in this program.
Yes.
It's just such a phenomenal program.
Yeah. Our head wrestling coach is part of the 34th ID. And so they just got back from some things that they were doing with the Iowa Army National Guard. And I think he's in the CAV is what he was done. I could be wrong about that, but he was gone for a while. So, that's a huge part. And I know you're in the Army. We talked about that when you came in the door, and because you were early, and you said, "Well, it's just the military in me." And I'm like, "What branch?" And you said Army, so you had the right answer. And then, so we let you in, and then talked a little bit about your jobs, and you were a medic, and I think that's awesome. And now. Let's go into a little bit about, and I'm sure that this was covered in the conference that you're discussing. I think military men and women do make outstanding coaches. A large part of the leadership training is really coaching, mentoring, developing. I mean, you can go. I mean, the Army's been talking about leadership for forever, and when I went through, they was called different things, but in a sense that it's all changed with the NCOESs and all that stuff. But talk about a little bit, what drives a person with military experience to want to continue that tradition of helpful to an extent, it's that the volunteer nature of wanting to coach and also be a part of a team and have that close experience that you get. Why do soldiers make soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines? Why do they make Space Force? I mean, I don't know about that, but why do they make good coaches?
Well, this may not be the answer I'm kind of looking for, but for me personally, I can just tell you it's because I love football.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's very few, my wife, my kids, my family, that's about the only thing I love more than football.
Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah.
So for me, I tell people this, football didn't get me ready for the military, or the military didn't get me ready for football. Football got me ready for the military.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think I love the game, and you get the camaraderie that you miss. When you're in the military, you go through things that nobody outside of that will ever understand. Mm-hmm. My wife, there's things that my battle buddies will understand that she never will. Mm-hmm. And it just is what it is, and athletics gives you that camaraderie, whether it's with the coaches, with the players, you get that same camaraderie. You see that it's just like developing a soldier. You're seeing this kid, you got to be hard on them. You got to hold them accountable, but you get to watch them grow into great players, and go on and do great things. I told my guys, I've coached all conference players and all that, but the guys I'm the most proud of is I've got a kid that right now he's stationed up on the Great Lakes. He's in the Navy.
Okay.
I've got 2 officers in the Coast Guard.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a sheriff's deputy in Louisville. I've got a high-level manager for a company out of Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, that's what I'm really proud of. It's great that they, made all conference.
Yeah.
But those guys, those men are fathers now. They're husbands.
Mm-hmm.
They're great people doing great things. And for me, that's, winning is great. And we want, I hate losing more than I love winning. Okay. Yeah. But making sure that these young men leave and become great people is the most important thing. And I think, coming from the military, we see that, and that's what we want to instill in those kids, and the opportunity to help that, because we're shaping the next generation.
Yes, absolutely.
The next president, the next congressman, judges, all these people, we're shaping that, and it's a heavy responsibility. And I think soldiers are definitely up to the task of that. Military, ex-military people.
I think that, because we always want to say soldiers.
Yeah.
Include
it's the Army,
sailors and everybody. Well, there's very few. There are very few professions that you can prepare for, or exercises such as athletics at the collegiate level, but even in high school and so forth, that blend all of the things that I think truly wraps up the experience that you have in the military, which is the physical side. There's a physical side, a physical discipline to being in the military. Same thing in sports, but it's more than that. There's the technical side. You have to be an expert in your position, and as you go through the levels from junior high or your AAU elementary experience all the way into, if you go to college and play any particular sport, you become more of a technical expert in that particular field, which is amazing. There's the academic side, because I know a lot of times military folks don't get the benefit necessarily from the general public of thinking that they're thinkers, but there's the academic side, the nature of war and the strategic planning that goes into being a part of a team such as that, and then just the team aspect of doing all of those things all at once together. So it's physical and emotional and mental and it's just I don't think that there's a ton. I mean, most careers have elements of that to some degree, but not the intense level that you experience in athletics or in the military. Does that sound about right?
You're spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah. I mean, you got to be obviously physically fit, mentally fit. That's all my alignment. It's here.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be mentally tough to play the position, but you got to be mentally tough in life.
Yeah.
Life is not easy. It will beat you up. And if you don't have it here, you just won't succeed.
Yeah. And we've always said, I mean, I've said on, we've been doing this for 5 years now as a podcast, only podcast that I'm aware of in the, certainly in our conference. And I'm not sure if there probably are some others out there.
Yeah. I don't know that there's any other NAI football. I mean,
Maybe.
there's NAI football.
Yeah.
And they
Talk about everybody.
Yeah.
But we've said before that, football is invented by Civil War veterans who were afraid that their sons were going to grow up never having experienced combat. So you have this, it's a land battle. It's warfare on the field. The gridiron is that 1 acre where you get to experience that land battle, force on force, and then it ends in 60 minutes and it's all over. And there's a victor. Thank God since the forward pass was invented. Good job Teddy Roosevelt getting that through. We don't have as many people actually dying on the gridiron, and we still have injuries and all of that. But that is the history. I mean, it is a battle that you can witness and walk away from. Maybe that's how we should actually be solving most of our world conflicts, is just a good old football game.
It's funny you say that, because George Carlin does a great skit of baseball versus football. And he goes into, he's talking about how baseball, it's played in a park, a baseball park, gridiron, it's a great skit.
Yeah.
You'll have to YouTube it. He loved George Carlin. He was a great guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Phenomenal comedian.
Yeah, absolutely.
saw him live.
You did?
I did. I did. I saw George Carlin live when my wife and I went when we were at Northwest Missouri State, finishing up our degrees. And Carlin was there, second row. And I was a little like, second row, it's going to be great. George Carlin, who's just, I love comedy, and he's an icon and
a wordsmith and an English teacher.
Absolutely. He's so great about everything that he does. And then I sit down and way too close. Only in the fact that I can't remember. Carlin's really not known for pointing at somebody in the crowd, but then I was like, maybe this was a bad idea. Easily made fun of, this guy.
Yeah. So
He didn't, but he was great. He was great. So
I love
that was
George
one of
Carlin.
those.
He's great.
Yeah.
You're on to the next question.
I guess what I want to know, just like, talk about your journey. Obviously, you're not in the last few years, Waldorf has had a lot of coaches in their 20s. I don't know how old you are.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm like, this is great.
Yes.
I don't know how old you are, but I know that the other coaches are my age, but and I'm loving this new world of, I'm not going to say old guys. I'm going to say like seasoned veteran
Experienced
men that are coming in.
They've seen it all.
They have, the best part of it is that, they have seen, like when I was as a first sergeant and as a recruiter and all these other, and you're leading companies, and it was like the thing that the new soldiers don't realize. And I know that you came in, you said you came into the Army at 30, so you were a grandpa, at that point. But like I went in at 20, and I feel, and I was even old at 20, and I will tell you that like the thing that I could tell all my recruits was like, they all think when they go to basic training that their story is unique and special, and it's like those drill sergeants. The drill sergeant might be 26, staff sergeant been in since they were 18 or whatever, and they have seen it all. Hundreds, thousands of people from all over the country, different walks of life, all 50 states and all of our territories, and they have seen it. They have heard it. They've heard the cheating girlfriend, the broken up families, the I'm from the streets, the rural, they've seen it and heard it all. And then it never fails. You come in and they're like, oh man, I'm special. my story's different. And they're like, private. Private, please. You know, like they've seen it. And that's got to be a little bit like coming in freshman year or even transfer, depending on the maturity level of the kids in college. Sorry to interrupt you, Andy, but
No, there was no interruption there. But so, Coach, talk a little bit about your start. We talked a little bit about where you're from, and that you love football. How did that grow, and what was your journey like? You don't have to go into a lot of specifics or details. Obviously, we know that you're a veteran of the United States Armed Forces, and we're proud of that. But just talk a little bit about your life. What from Eastern Tennessee to Forest City, Iowa.
Well, I said I'm from East Tennessee. My football career was a little bit different. My father actually hated the game of football so much that I was not even allowed to watch football on TVs in his house.
Heaven's sakes.
wow.
It was not, when I was 10, a bunch of people had told my parents, they were like, this kid needs to play football. Like, holy cow. So finally they let me play. Dad still would let me watch it. But I will say this, you know, he never missed a game my entire playing career.
Amen.
I lost my father in 2020 with COVID, but he never missed a game. He hated the game. He hated football. Never missed one of my games.
Why?
So my father was a swimmer. We don't know where I got my size. They swear it was the milkman. But my father was only about 5'8", 120 pounds when he was in high school, and he got beat up by the football players. So football from there.
Makes sense.
So, you know, I loved it through high school, played in college. After college, I got the opportunity to play arena football out in Billings, Montana, Corpus Christi, and Lakeland, Florida. So did that, and then I actually stepped away. I didn't play or coach for many years. I sold timeshare, which I'm not necessarily proud of.
But you know how to close a deal, don't you?
Exactly.
That's what I was doing about 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I came here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I actually quit that industry, and that's when I went in the military. And while I was in Germany, I got the opportunity to play and coach in the GFL.
Nice.
So, you know, I played there.
That's big time.
It really is.
That's big time. GFL.
Ken Anderson they were I can't think the other Anderson coaches the first name, but like they were several years ago.
Yeah.
Had that experience. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. Yeah.
It was awesome. Like getting to coach overseas, getting the opportunity to work with guys that, you know, they're 25-year-old men, but they don't really know football. You know, they just don't have coaching there, things like that. So, you know, it was a great opportunity to get to work with extremely raw individuals, and you really had to teach because they have no base. Like they don't even know how to get into a stance kind of thing. So, you know, it was great. Got to really work those guys. Still talk to a lot of them. It's one thing my former players will tell you. They still keep in contact with me, even from in Germany. But I came back. When I got out of the military, I emailed right around 300 colleges, their coaches, and said, hey, I will come work for free. I've got the GI Bill. I just need to finish my degree. I want to get into coaching.
Yeah.
I'll come for free. 2 colleges got back to me, West Florida and Union College in Kentucky, which is where I went as a freshman in college.
Okay.
So the coach was like, well, you're already here. This is the easiest way for you to get your degree. So they hired me as a student assistant. Worked with tight ends for a couple years, and then they moved me to linebackers and gave me a recruiting coordinator title. And then I coached O-line my last year there. And then I had to leave because they had some financial issues. So I went home and started selling timeshare again.
Yeah.
And I coached an arena team there, a small independent league. It wasn't like the big arena or anything. And then I was just done doing what I was doing. I didn't feel good about it. I was miserable at work. Just hated what I was doing.
Selling timeshares would make you feel bad?
Oh man,
Sorry.
stories I could tell you.
Yeah.
You know, and I went home to my wife and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. And she was like, fine, quit, go find a coaching job.
Yeah.
Like it was that simple. It was, hey, this is taking you down. You're done.
Right.
So, we started on the path, and that's when I got hooked up with Soldiers Sidelines, and man, it's just been kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
That is such a great story, Coach.
It is.
I absolutely love it. So the thing that that I want to know more about is that through this journey that you just described briefly, which sounds pretty awesome, you had a wife and a family to drag around a little bit. Tell us about your wife, and then tell us about the family that's developed from that.
So, my wife, I guess our story, we actually met when I was 15 and she was 16. We worked together at Dollywood, and we didn't like each other.
Yes.
Oh, really?
We didn't like
each other. Yeah. And then, and then 15 years later, I'm out with some friends, and she comes in with a friend of mine, a female friend of mine that I knew, and we just started hanging out. This was about 6 weeks before I left to go to basic training, mind you.
Wow.
And it wasn't until about our fourth date, probably, we made the connection that we knew each other from when we were 15, 16.
You're that guy from Dollywood.
Yeah, no, it was the opposite. It was like, oh, I didn't like you. I told her. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I remember you. I didn't like. So, we kind of date for 6 weeks. I leave for the military. Mind you, she had 4 children. So I have 5 children. Mm-hmm. We have 4, and then we adopted the 5th. So, it was her, the 4 kids. We dated for about 6 weeks, and I left for basic, and we hand wrote letters back and forth for 10 weeks.
Oh my
gosh. Like old school
Yeah.
type.
Oh, romance.
Yeah,
Romance.
and then something you'll appreciate, family days the day before graduation. So I actually proposed right after that ceremony for family day. So all the guys and their families were there, and I proposed. And
my gosh.
And then the next day we got married. And then I shipped off
Not
to
a
Fort
long
Sanford.
engagement. Not a very long engagement.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
That's a
like,
weekend.
No, it wasn't even a weekend. We got married. We met back up with my parents and the kids, and then we had dinner, and they had to take me back to post because I left. I went to AIT for 4 months.
Yes. So yeah, Andy, 68 Whiskey Medic is that's 4 months, 16 weeks of
Fun in the sun.
death by PowerPoint for quite a while. But then you got all the business after that. That's a good time. Yeah. That's a long training. Mine was 7 weeks, so I didn't have to.
Yeah.
No, it was, the first 4 months of our marriage, we didn't even see each other. We were phone. And then I came home for a week, and then I went to Germany, and she didn't follow for another month after that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, the first, 6 months we were together for a week.
What is this amazing woman's name?
Dawn.
Dawn.
Yep.
I think I read that somewhere. And so you folks have 5 kids.
Yes, sir.
And one of them is adopted, which is awesome. That speaks to my heart. My grandson he came into our family through adoption, and I just love every part of that. So tell us a little bit about the rest of your family.
So my oldest daughter, she's married and has 5. She married a man with 5 kids. So It's kind of a family tradition, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds awesome.
So I have 5 grandkids too.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
Just like that. I mean, I just had one 2 months ago, and so now.
Bunch of grandpas just sitting here. Isn't that refreshing, Troy?
It is.
I mean, but we just talked about that, Coach, a little bit, where like we got these guys in here like, well, yeah, I just graduated 6 months ago, and like, come on, man. Like, we got, not that we didn't have anything in common. We love all of our former coaches and obviously our current coaches, but it's like, that's one of the things that I told Coach Calloway is like, this is awesome for me because I've been the oldest guy by 20 some years.
A long time.
For like 6 seasons. And now it's like, when I start talking about, man, standing on this turf is killing my back, somebody might actually go, yeah, I feel you, man.
Oh, it's not just that, Coach. It's the references that we've made for the last several years when we come up, like we speak in references people do it. Military people are notorious for it, and we'll just start quoting lines from movies.
Yeah.
So we would drop lines, say, from, I don't know, Blazing Saddles or Tommy Boy or The Godfather or whatever. And some of these guys would be like, I don't know.
Don't know what you're talking about.
And then we're like, wait, you haven't seen The Godfather? You haven't seen Blazing Saddles?
So I know I've got a good one for you. Yesterday, I was talking to one of the old linemen, and he asked me a question. I was like, it's kind of like Rudy. And he went, Coach, what was Rudy? I was like, you never watched Rudy?
How do you?
He was like, no, I've never watched Rudy. And I'm like, all right, I order you. You have to watch Rudy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be a football player and not watch Rudy.
Exactly.
And then another player said, well, Coach, I've heard of Rudy, but I've never watched it. And I'm like, wait, have y'all watched the program yet? And they're like, no. I was like, all right. So after the spring game, I'm getting pizza or whatever, and we're watching Rudy and the program.
Go to the Bowman.
Remember the Titans.
Get the Bowman and get the big screen down. Get comfortable. Get some popcorn. What? Maybe that's what we ought. I mean, we ought to.
Sounds like $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Do football movie night. For everybody, like the classics.
Yeah.
North Dallas 40.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna
say roughness.
Oh,
there you go.
I mean, is that
the replacement?
Is that for Kathy Ireland though? I mean,
why would it not be?
I mean,
a little bit.
Come on, man.
Why would it not be?
Yeah, right. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah, that's a good deal. Maybe we ought to do that. Just have some movie nights. Let these kids get educated on some of these movies that they haven't seen. I'm not saying we got to.
You don't have to do 14 hours of movies.
We don't have to whip out Blazing Saddles.
No.
That's not a football movie, but they ought to know those.
That's not something you play in polite public.
I don't know if you can even play it anymore, but to be honest with you, yeah, Mel Brooks.
It's still out there.
Yeah.
All right, so your daughter, 5 grandkids. What else you got, man?
Well, she actually has her own salon.
Nice.
And then my oldest son, he just graduated from Maine Maritime Academy. He's a marine biologist.
Holy cow!
And then, so my oldest son and our adopted daughter, she actually just graduated from the University of Tennessee last year.
Go Vols!
Yeah, we're Tennessee through and through, man. Orange and white. Woo. My youngest daughter, she is actually a senior at UT Knoxville right now. I believe she's a political science major. And then my youngest son is graduating high school in May.
That's awesome.
And so is my oldest grandson.
Okay.
Whoa, that is
getting it all together. Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah. So I have to go home in middle of May because my grandson goes to one high school in the county. Mm-hmm. My son goes to another. So their graduations are 3 days apart.
Nice.
So yeah, I
got to be back for that stuff. You got to be there for the big days. So are we going to get an opportunity to meet some of these people? Obviously you said, I can't remember if it was on camera or not, that your wife, with your son graduating from high school, she's still there doing the mom thing, holding the fort down, that she'll get up here hopefully around that September time. Hopefully that all works out. Great for you, great for her. It'll be wonderful to meet her. But is the rest of the family going to come back and watch Dad and Grandpa coach?
Well, so, I mean, they may come out and visit and catch a game or two, but no, not by any means would they be anybody move.
Oh, God, no. I mean, there's tornadoes here.
Yeah. Well, and my wife's not a big fan of snow, so that first snowfall, she'll be heading back down to East Tennessee.
Coach, I'm just going
to
I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is a knowledge bomb that a lot of people don't understand. I've lived in Iowa for 54 of my 56 years, probably 54 and a half. I hate snow too. Hate it. With the blind passion of a million suns. I absolutely hate snow. Now, I probably won't ever live someplace where they don't have some snow, but I mean, we get snow up here. We get snow.
I mean,
come on. What?
I mean, I'm pretty Viking, so I mean, it doesn't bother me too much. I enjoy being out in the tractor and working with nature, and then even when I'm cussing at nature, I'm thankful that I get a chance to see all 4 seasons. But that being said,
so the difference,
still a frustrating situation when if you get a snowstorm in May, that's irritating.
yeah, that is. But you got to understand the difference between you, retired military, and me, public service, public safety. And it snows a lot around here. All the folks that ain't from here like to drive through here on their way to someplace, and they get trapped, and it becomes our problem.
Yeah, but let me tell you how it worked out, and maybe this is what we should go back to back in the old days. When I say old days, I mean like as people were coming across and settling west, and they hit a snowstorm because they're going to go settle in California, but then they get in a snowstorm in Iowa, and their wagon breaks down. And they just decided, well, I guess we're going to live here.
Don't have money to go back.
Populate the state, and that's also why so many farmsteads have those broken wagon wheels just sitting outside there as decorations because they never left.
And you get trapped.
Listen, let me explain. Back home, they will cancel school at the threat.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the first flake hasn't hit the ground, and we're just going to cancel school. But that being said, there's a good reason. I've noticed this driving around here because I always used to get frustrated by you Midwesterners coming out to East Tennessee and getting on our roads and driving slow. I get it. Everything's flat here and straight. Mm-hmm. You get them on the mountain roads, there's a reason.
Yeah, you don't want to drop down into a holler. I mean, that's how it was down in, my in-laws lived in Branson, and the Ozarks. And so like same deal. They get the ice and then you're like, why would you cancel? Because everything is this way and that way, and then all of a sudden you're off the road. And out here we're just like, you can see a school bus in the ditch from a mile away out here, so we can probably be all right.
You don't want a school bus in the ditch.
No.
And what technically is a holler? Okay,
all right. So
I need to learn.
Well, really, the holler in the southeast is just the end of a road, just down a long stretch. Now, technically, a holler is a road with inside 2 mountains. So you got 2 mountains on each side down through here, and you got people living back here. That's back in the holler.
Mm-hmm. We have
only one way in, one way out of a holler.
Yeah, we bought this lowland over here this last fall.
Yeah, good for you.
And we call that Sunnyside Hollow, which technically is like that's the low point of, say, a township, which is what we bought, a swamp. So we're gonna turn it into pasture, but yeah. So holler and hollow would be similar, but different. But they're low spots, and the difference is to get to the holler. I think you have to go down a pretty good slope to get there. Does that sound right?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's flat. You're just in between 2 mountains, and like I said, there's only one way.
Yeah, but there's mountains on each side.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's the low point because there's mountains on both sides.
Yeah. Now I do want to know. So I find it very interesting. You played arena football.
Yeah.
The speed of the game of arena football is everybody I think that listens and watches this program knows obviously it's tremendously faster, smaller field, but just everything is just so much faster. Now, we were told by Coach Gales that this offense is going to be no huddle, hurry up. And I love that. So how does your experience having played in an environment where it's if it doesn't have to be no huddle, you could have huddles in arena football, but it's just a faster paced game, help you in preparing the line for what we're doing this coming season? Sure.
Arena football, you kind of said it, it's a condensed space. Mm-hmm. So every action has to be quicker. Mm-hmm. You look at Kurt Warner play for the Iowa Barnstormers, I got it why he was so good because he played in a league where he had to make, he didn't get a 3-step drop. Mm-hmm. He had to make now. So when he went to the NFL, it was like, oh, I get time.
Yeah.
I get time to go into a drop. I get time to read. It's just so fast, and the outdoor game teaching the line, it's like, okay, we're going to learn this speed, but know that we have space to work with.
Yeah.
I had classes with Kurt Warner back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah.
You went to UNI, huh?
Yeah, sure did. Iowa kid. Yeah, that's a great story. But yeah, absolutely. Kurt Warner, Barnstormers, and he just wanted a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of those that perfect moment. And now, NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Kid from Iowa.
Got to listen to him talk during one of the Soldier Sidelines things. He's a smart dude too.
Mm-hmm.
That guy knows football.
He's from Iowa.
Yeah. Proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Coach, one of the things that I'm always interested in is, football is obviously important to you. You're coaching. You said your family's important, but when you get time to yourself, whenever the heck that is, what do you like to do to let your hair down and just kind of relax and just get back to who you are at your core?
For me, it's being outside. Bonfires. My wife and I built a little outdoor seating area at our house, and we got a projector screen out there. So, at night we'll go out there, start a little fire in the fire pit. Just hang out there and watch movies. We watch Tennessee games or whatever we're gonna watch out there, and it's just real relaxing. And I like to be outside. Be out in the sun.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll tell you. So you grew up in SECville. I mean, the land where football is as much of a church on Saturday as the house of worship is on Sunday. What was that like growing up? I mean, I said go Vols. I don't know what it is. I got a sweet spot for the Tennessee Volunteers. Have for most of my life, and I don't know what it is about it. Obviously, when they're playing, I'm also a closet Alabama fan. Sorry, Coach, but but at the same time, that's about the only time I'm ever gonna root against the Volunteers. But what's it like growing up in an area where football is really king?
Well, understand this. Up until the late '90s, there was no professional sports in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So all there was the Vols.
We know that in Iowa.
Yeah, we feel that.
Yeah.
So I mean, you grow up. My father hated football, but all my friends were Vol fans, so that's all right. Tennessee. And of course, once I started playing, and that's all there was. So the fans are passionate there. I'll just say that.
Well, that's
some of them are downright crazy.
So does that make you a Titan fan then, or did you have a different professional team? Because Titans are, they're after you were
the Oilers.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I guess I got to kind of back my family. Like my mother and father are from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
My uncle. So my uncle was a huge New York Giants fan.
Okay.
And to tick him off, I picked the team he hated the most, which happened to be the Cowboys.
So it had to be the Dallas Cowboys.
I became a Cowboys fan, and that was before they were winning the Super Bowls. We're talking the Danny White days, but it was the team that he hated. So I was like, I got you. I'm a pick him. I'm a Cowboys fan. And I've always, loyalty is a big thing for me. And, I'm a Cowboys fan. And I've been for a long time through all the bad, and Lord knows they've been a lot of bad. Same thing with Tennessee. They went through their struggles, and you got to be loyal to the teams that you pick. You can't be a fair weather fan.
Well, I will say this about that. So when I was in Korea in the Army, the America's team, the Cowboys, they do send their cheerleaders around the world on USO trips.
Yep.
And the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders came to our tiny little Camp Gary Owen in the United States Cavalry up there on the Imjin River by the DMZ, and it was the best. There was 800 guys on that little squadron, and I'll tell you what, every single one of them was there. If the North Koreans wanted to come over at that time, they would have had a little easier moment through the Western Corridor, because we were all just fascinated with the dance routines of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Yeah.
They came through the USO in Germany, so I actually have a picture with one of the cheerleaders. But Peyton Manning was there too.
That's even a
pretty
bigger
good.
deal.
Yeah.
Well, so here's what's kind of funny about this. So I was in the USO, and everybody in the USO is in Broncos gear, because he was playing for the Broncos at the time. I'm wearing a Tennessee hat and a Tennessee pullover. I'm wearing my Vols.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So he comes walking through the door, and like we're all just standing there. He comes straight up to me. He's like, "I like that."
Yeah.
So when he autographed my hat, now I had been watching him. He was autographing everybody. Peyton Manning 18. Peyton Manning 18. When I gave him my Tennessee hat, 16.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
And just I was a little impressed by the fact that this man just signed a bunch of stuff 18. He still wears 18. He hasn't worn 16 in almost 2 decades. And he was like,
Yeah.
I'm 16.
I love that.
So yeah, he's a really smart dude too. Like,
Yeah.
Again, another guy that has forgotten more than most will ever learn about football.
But what a good man.
Well,
Yes.
I mean,
No.
what a good man.
He does so much for that university too. He's extremely loyal to Tennessee.
well, and I mean, an amazing family. I mean, that's a football family. I mean, Archie on down. Yeah. You can't go wrong. So now Archie Jr.
brother goes to
whatever,
Ole Miss. I mean,
that's where his dad
but he-
went.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And also but Eli's funny too. Like Eli is like, he's doing all these shows. And although I will say, I think one of the best skits on Saturday Night Live was when he was doing like it was United Children,
Way.
United Way.
United Way. I actually saw
Snitches get stitches. You know, stuff like that.
I actually saw a video of Peyton being interviewed about that and how they were like, he was like, it was so tough. He goes, because they're like, no, we want you to throw this football.
Yeah.
Just peg these kids in the head. And then he had to stop. And like all the parents of these kids are there watching, because it's kind of a big moment for them. And he's like, look, I don't want to hurt your child. He said, so this is, and they were Nerf footballs. He said they were soft. He said, but still, he goes,
He's Peyton Manning.
he's Peyton
He
Manning.
throws a laser beam.
He does. And he said, I kind of got done with my spiel. And he said, one of the parents, the mom and dad came up and said, I want you to hit my kid in the face.
Because for the rest of his life, that kid gets to, he gets to be like, yeah, remember that commercial? That was me.
Oh my gosh, yes.
One in the dome for Peyton.
Oh, that's so great. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that obviously we talked about your experience in Arena League and where how that applies now. We're coming into spring ball, can't miss that. This comes out. We got spring ball tomorrow, and so everybody's welcome to come out to that. Let's get the details on that. We're going to feed the team afterward. We're excited. We're going to be grilling Iowa chops, which if you haven't had that, Coach, I mean, we think that they're the best. It's just their pork chops, but they're thicker and, they're just the best. And so the team will have that. Now, the weather on Saturday could be a little iffy in the time frame.
Cold.
It's going to be cooler, yeah, for sure. So I think we might probably feed in the D-Jack. I think we talked with Adam a little bit about that and just getting that squared away. But that's something we're doing. Let's talk about what we're dealing with in spring ball. Coach Gales had mentioned that, depending on where we're at, and Coach Callaway too, as with the line, the big boys particular, it could be ones-on-ones. He wants to see what we're working with, but at the same time, obviously we're keeping everybody healthy, and we've got a ways to go on both sides of the line. Want to make sure that we get those built up, and we're doing that part of it. But where are we at on the draw for the line, on the recruiting? Where do we need to be? What are the goals? And of course, we got a few months before the actual season starts. So let's talk about those two things: where we're at with the line currently that you're focused on, and then obviously where let's talk a little bit about spring ball.
Sure. Where we're at now, we're getting better. Mm-hmm. A little bit every day. I actually had one of the guys in there today. I showed him practice film from the first practice I was there versus our last practice we had, and I'm like, look at what we were getting wrong, and look at where we're getting things right now. Like, so it's a process. Offensive line is one of the most unique positions on the field because it takes 5 guys acting in one. As one
mm-hmm.
to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have 4 do it right, 1 do it wrong,
mm-hmm.
or plays don't work.
Yep.
I sent my guys a video. Coach Summerall at Florida was talking about it, and he's like, the offensive line is the only position that doesn't need anybody else to play well to be successful, but everybody else needs the offensive line to play well for them to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
So it's a process of, taking those guys, getting them to gel so that, they work well with each other. And it's a process. I didn't expect to walk in there day one and then be world beaters, but they're great kids. They want to get better. They take to coaching. Coaches, you've been out there.
Yes, sir.
I yell, I get on them. I'm going to hold them accountable. I told them, I was like, if I let you slide because you don't step right, but you made the block, but you stepped wrong, if I don't hold you accountable, I'm saying it's okay to not do it the right way. So, they've taken to that. Some of them, so I'm like, all right, this is a little bit different, but I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to hold them accountable. And, we were going to build that line with guys that want to be there. And I think we have that. We got guys that are truly committed and, they want to get better. We were in the weight room. They're like, Coach, this is what I bench. This is where I'm at. Man, what can I do to get better? I'm like, all right, well, let's look at a couple things besides the weight room. What are you doing outside the weight room? What's your nutrition look like? How are you eating? Well, I'm not eating great. Well, man, all right, let's talk about that, So it's going to take more than just the coaching on the field to bring them together. It's you got to look at coaching the O-line holistically. It's everything, man. I told those guys, if you're in the cafeteria, you all should be eating together. There shouldn't be, two over here, two over there. You should be all eating together all the time. If you're up in the dorms and you're playing video games, y'all should be doing it together. That is the one position that they have to do everything together because they have to do it together on the field.
Yeah.
Coach Summerall points out, like, a receiver has a great game. He makes 10 catches for 200 yards and 6 touchdowns and we win. That's great. He had a great game, but what did the other receivers do? O-line ain't like that.
Yeah.
He said a defensive lineman, he makes 1 play out of 7. That's a pretty good lineman.
Really good.
If you make 1 play, if you do it right 1 time out of 7 on the O-line, you're fired.
Yeah.
So it's a
and
process.
there's no stats to it. I mean, that's the downfall of the O-line. We're gonna when the season comes around, we'll do our Wednesday night coaches show like we've been doing for the last several years, and the reality is we're talking to Coach Callaway, we're talking to a couple of players, talking to Coach Callaway again. What did we do in the last game? What do we got in the game coming up? And you're just going by the stats that are presented. Well, unfortunately, O-line, they just don't get stats. But yet you're right. If they don't do their job, nobody else does either.
I guess we have one stat: pancakes.
Yeah. Well, is that officially recorded though?
I don't know if it's officially recorded, but
should be.
That's right.
Should be.
Yeah. Well, add it to our sports information director's skill. Yeah. We'll get that done. Yeah. Well, I think that the timbre of the program is deepening in resonance because of the age that we've got and the experience that we've got in our coaching staff. We've gone from a very young coaching staff for the last several years into now a very experienced coaching staff from all over the country in different ways. And we're in a conference that demands every week, and I'd say that's probably true. I mean, most people in any conference in the NAI or any level would say, well, that's how it is in football. But this is a tough conference, and there's a lot of pride in this conference. There's a lot of history, and there's a lot of rivalries that we're not. At this point, honestly, we're not part of any of those because we're not part of. You can't be part of the rivalry if you haven't taken a win from somebody that had one, and we haven't gotten that win. And obviously, I know that all the coaching staff and the players definitely are. That's the goal, is to go out there and win. So, how is the mindset of the team as you've seen it? You've been here a couple of weeks now, and just from. Sometimes it's nice to come into that spring ball while it's happening and seeing where things are at, getting that observation kind of from an outside perspective. What are you seeing?
I mean, I see we've got a group of kids right now that are hungry.
Yeah.
They want to win. They want to win.
They do.
They we hear we can't have what happened last year or the year before. We get it.
Yeah.
These kids are hungry and they want to win. And they're taken to coaching. They're doing the things that we're asking. they want to win. That is the mindset of the team. Like, we're going to win. We want to win now.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely. We've got some, we got some great kids that returned. We've got some great kids that came in halfway through the year, and looking forward to seeing, what we do to fill that roster come this fall and welcome these young men back on campus July, April. I skipped a few months.
Yeah, that's all right. It's a way of putting the calendar together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever.
You do whatever you want.
But yeah, looking forward to all that. Definitely. So, like, recruiting wise, how are things looking for you guys? Because, I mean, you sold timeshares. You should be able to get a kid to come play football at Waldorf, right?
I mean, that's the plan. That's the plan. I've already reached out to quite a few of my contacts around the country. Obviously, most of my recruiting ties are in the Southeast.
Yeah.
So there'll be some kids from the Southeast up this way. Some Tennessee boys, some Georgia kids.
You got a Tennessee kid on your squad right now.
Yeah, Andrew. So he's about his hometown is about an hour from where mine is.
Yeah.
His is a little bit north up in the mountains.
Yep.
So, and then one of our running backs is from Lenoir City, Tennessee, which is right about an hour and 15 minutes west of where I'm from. So,
all right.
We'll have some Knoxville kids up here.
That's great.
Right.
That's great. Those Tennessee volunteer bounce backs, the guys that, I mean, why not? Why not? Let's bring them in.
Yeah.
We need those dudes. So yeah, if
that's what they do over at Concordia. Are you kidding me? They're a half hour, 20 minutes away from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I mean, you see a lot of that. So, I mean,
your grades aren't good. How'd you like to keep playing football?
Yeah, I played against them in college. So I went to Union College for 2 years, and then I transferred to Mount Scenario College in Wisconsin. It doesn't exist anymore.
I was going to say I haven't heard. Where in Wisconsin?
Well, it's in Ladysmith, Wisconsin. So about an hour and a half northeast of Eau Claire.
Okay.
Up on the Flambeau River. Well, we got there. We played the season, and the school shut down.
Oh.
So, yeah. And then I ended up in Montana. But when I was at Mount Scenario, we actually played Concordia, Nebraska. So, yeah.
You've seen them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, and again, whether you've heard of it or not, the GPAC, we believe strongly that it's the best NAI football conference and conference in the nation. Again, there's history, there's tradition. Yes, there's rivalries, but the fact that the schools that come out of the GPAC, at least football wise, are always, the expectation is national championship, and heck, there's been an Iowa school that's been in the championship game for like 9 or 10 years of the NAI now. Great.
Yeah, this conference or the other. Yep,
absolutely. So yeah. So, Coach, one of the things that we always like to do, because we're getting close to our time.
Yeah, we got it.
Oh, yeah, we're doing good. That is we always like to have our guests be able to have the last word. Whether you want to say something to family, friends, players, fans, the university, or if you've got some sort of little pithy thing that you always wanted to say for the interwebs to hear your voice, then by all means, this, sir, is your opportunity to do just that. So the last word goes to Coach.
Well, I guess, obviously, I couldn't do any of this without my wife and my family's support, and they've been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're living apart right now.
Yeah.
I'm here, she's there, family's there. So obviously, my family, first and foremost, they're awesome. And then, of course, I got to thank the coaches along the way that have helped me, the Soldiers Sidelines program, some of the coaches by name, I guess I'll throw out there, Jared Cruzy, Greg Williams, Toriano Morgan, those guys have really helped me get to where I'm at. Just really thankful to those people. I'm thankful for this opportunity. Don't think that I take this for granted. I am extremely happy to be here. Like, man, I pulled up, Sunday night and got here about 8:00, and I was just like, all right, I'm ready to go to work. Let's go to the office. Like, Coach Gales, he called me. He's like, all right, he offered me the job, and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go. Can I start recruiting right now? And he's like, I'm not on campus yet. Can I start recruiting? And he's like, yeah, go at it. So, as soon as I got the word that I was coming here, I was ready to get started. I was chomping at the bit to be here. They had to tell me, whoa, no, you can't do it for a couple. It's gonna be a couple. You gotta wait a week. I was no, man. I'm in the car. Like he told me how quick can you be here? I was like, Coach, it takes about 13 hours. I need 2 hours back.
Yeah.
So, so I'm extremely excited to be here, and I'm just really excited about the support and the facilities. I was telling them, like, some of these facilities, these are some of the best facilities I've been around. Like, honestly, and like our weight room, man, that's phenomenal. We're getting brand new turf.
Yeah.
It's like, man, so there's so many positive things and so much greatness that's going on here. It's like, man, I'm excited. Like, I'm ready to get going, get winning. And I believe that's where we're going to be. We're going to win. We're going to turn this around. I didn't drive 15 hours and leave my family in East Tennessee to not turn this thing around, man. That's what we're here for.
Love to hear it. I'm ready to Rumbaugh.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's pretty good. Well, Troy, I would be remiss. We're recording this on a Wednesday. So today is actually the 15th of April. Tomorrow is a pinnacle moment in my life, in the fact that my beautiful bride and I will be celebrating 32 years together.
Nice.
I'm a lucky man, and I just wanted to say, Keela, thank you for everything that you've put up with over the last 32 years, and I can't wait to do 32 more, at least. I don't know. What would that make me? Damn it all. I'd be almost 90.
Good.
It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyway, so yeah, super excited to celebrate with you tomorrow, babe.
That's awesome. Tomorrow, now we're really messing with people's time.
Sorry.
You step back. We recorded it on a Wednesday. Annie's anniversary is on a Thursday. This comes out on a Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday when you see this, and come on out, bring your tailgating gear. We're going to watch what these guys have been doing, see what the coaches have put together. We're going to have some, I think are we planning on an 11 a.m. start? Is that 11:30?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to get to the locker room probably somewhere.
If you get there at 10 and you're hanging out, and if you actually, this would be kind of fun. If you're there at 10, you might see some of the heels and huddles people doing some of their stuff. And then we got our scrimmage. We get to see them work on some different things that they got going on. We'll have music going, and it'll be a good time. We're going to feed the team afterwards, and everybody's welcome to come out. So by all means, come on out. Listen, this is a whole new coaching staff for the most part. So it might be a little bit cooler, but it's still springtime in Iowa. So for us, this is nearly shorts weather. And so get out there, have a good time, and show them what Forest City is all about, what they can expect this coming fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, couldn't have said it better. Coach Leo Rumbaugh, it's a pleasure. You guys, you got to hear him, and get to know him. Come out on Saturday. Get out there. The coaches want to get to know you, the Gridiron Club members, and they want to get to know the community. And again, they've been immersed in football since they got here. They've been around the town a little bit, but let's be honest, folks. Get out there. Let's meet these guys. Let's see what they're putting together, and then we've got all summer recruiting and bringing in those dudes, and then it's straight off at the end of the summer, which is going to happen sooner than later.
You bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, thanks so much for coming today, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me, and if you guys see me, by all means, say hey, because I'll say howdy to y'all.
Amen. Well, Troy, that's going to do it for Season 5, Episode 4 of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to take a few moments with us. So
don't forget to text or leave a voicemail. You'll probably make it on the show.
Oh, challenge.
It seems like.
Yeah. Remember, how do you want us to open the show? What type of accent? What type of voice do you want to hear?
I feel like Carrie would take advantage of that.
Oh, really? Do you think he's got the eggs to do it?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll find out.
He'll leave a message specifically for Papa Buff.
Ooh, I'm fighting words. All right. That's going to do it, folks. Thanks so much for listening. For Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington. And forever and always, go Warriors.
You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America. Just visit our website and pick your membership level at waldorfgridironclub.org. You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.